Look at this. Ooh, I look good. But the lake looks kind of, you know, mucky and stuff. But that's nature for you. But what I wanted to talk about today is how real nature is and how people in our society is basically trying to live like, to an extent, emotionally wild animals, but really do not understand the severity of how wild animals live. Growing up, I always liked animals and like watching the Nature Channel. It's just reasons why I wanted to do what I wanted to do in 2023, and as far as like traveling and trying to see different animals. But as of late, I've really got obsessed with the apex predators and the endangered species and how animals and the ecosystems really collided together. And it had got me thinking, and also a YouTube comment got me thinking. I'm gonna post the person's name. I'm sorry, forgot the tag of the YouTuber who commented on my thing, but he said something about on a video that I had made about like my girlfriend had BPD, about how the world is now, and it really had me thinking, and it's just true. Like the gentle side and the emotional side of the world is really is non-existent. Oh, and also I'm testing out this microphone that I got, the Rode microphone, the Levier, the portable microphone. I'm testing it out with this video as well. But it really got me thinking, like, people get hurt once and then they run away from the hurt forever. And it's like they're haven't evolved past that point to humans that we are. Like animals, when they get hurt, they run away from the pain because they don't want to hurt no more. And it makes sense because I mean, they're always in a fight or flight situation. They're always looking for food and trying to stay alive. And the way people are today is technically they're trying to go back to that grassroots way of living and thinking without actually doing it fully. And when it comes to love and situations of that nature, a lot of people, they say they tend to look out for themselves and don't care about how they affect other people and love other people and only fend for themselves, which is fine. But I think if those people really looked and see how the world is in real nature, they would see living like that and actually doing that is not the way that you will want to live the rest of your life. Because nature, man, when you look at nature and you actually start looking and getting into it, it really humbles the fuck out of you, man. It really humbles you, and it sees how good we kind of got it. Like animals, especially like for I really dove into polar bears. Now, I started researching bears because one of the first places I want to go is Yellowstone, and I know there's a lot of bears over there, and I want to get close to like a grizzly bear and a black bear, and I want to go see fucking polar bears and shit because I always like ice and the snow is cool. And polar bears, man, with the way the world is and global warming and how, because they survive on the ice. They need ice to survive because their food sources come from the ice, which are the otters, and they need, their body is built for ice and in the snow. And the way that it is now, it's taking longer for the ice to actually fully freeze everything because everything is so warm, and they get stranded on this harbor slash bay where there's barely any food, and they go months, 3 to 6 months without eating anything, just living off their fat reserves, and they don't really hibernate like the other bears do. So they do it while they're alive. So they're like in awakened, they're in awakened mode of fasting hibernation while living without eating for a long time. And the cycle of when the ice is supposed to freeze and that they can travel back to the Alaska and to the Arctic zones and start getting their food is taking longer and longer each year. But what do I want to say about that? What I'm trying to get at is, man, they have to do it because that's just how it is. And the way situations are with people, we can choose to deal with the situation and choose not to. And if not, then if like a situation like that basically arises, there's always an answer or people to help us get out of it. When really after polar bears are 2.5 years old, their mom abandons them. They're on their own, and everything that they had learned in those 2.5 years they have to use. And if they don't, then they just die. They won't make it. They'll die of starvation. Like the real deal, life or death, fight or flight, searching for food constantly and don't know when your next meal is. Only having to be able to look out for yourself. You don't have the choice and the luxury to look out for no one else, because if you do, you might die. And with polar bears, it really just opened my eye up to that situation, man. And just people don't know, a lot of people don't know how good they actually have it. And I think, what would help the world and will help a lot of people and humble a lot of people, if people like, just came out into the wilderness and camped for, I want to say a week, but I don't even think people need to do it for a week. Probably one day, couple days out here camping. I've never camped before. I want to try it out. I don't personally myself, I feel like I can do it. I used to travel through the woods and stuff when I was younger a lot. I always like to do that stuff. The only thing I'll be scared of is, an apex predator coming up around me when I'm sleeping in my tent. Other than that, I feel like I'll do really good with camping and living out here, other than the rain and, the weather and all of that, because, we're not built for that. But I want to do it, and I'm going to do it. But if like majority of the world right now, well, let's just say the United States, the majority of the people in the United States, if they were given the essential tools to come out here and camp and live, a lot of them will lose their fucking mind. But I feel like going back into society, it will humble a lot of them, and it will be a life-changing experience, and it will probably help them in the long run for the better. Because man, animals they don't have that choice. It's life or death all the time. If you just happen to not be the big bear, the big tiger, or whatever of the situation, then you are always being looked at as food. Okay? You are always being looked at as food and always looking for food, and you're never safe, man. And I want to get out into the wilderness and see these animals in action and how they actually live, man. That's really what I want to do. And starting to try to help in any type of way to help these animals live. Because I mean, really, like just how like dinosaurs lived a while ago and other animals that lived in time, we're in an era right now where some animals that people take for granted they might go extinct. Polar bears could go extinct. What else? Tigers were close to extinction and are still low. It was a type of wolf that was close to extinction too, because they started killing them because they were killing the kids around the village and stuff like that. So it's just like, in these times, the animals that we have now, people take for granted, might not be around. And I want to see them, hopefully, and try to do something to try to give back and keep them alive. Because more and more stuff is being built and is pushing animals out of their natural habitats. And that's why a lot of animals attacks and things happens, because they get so used to being around humans, and the fact that their food sources are being taken away, that they have no choice but to resort to eating humans and everything like that. And they don't be scared of humans because there's so much around them. And yeah, it's our fault, because we're just, I mean, I don't even know, like, how the fuck how will we do this? Like, because I mean, the only thing I can say is if they put a limit on population, because the more population people happens, then I mean, obviously there's going to be more houses, which means there needs to be more places for people to live, and they just taking over the places that the animals live, to a point where there probably will never be, I mean, well, now there's parks and stuff like that, which is good, but if there weren't for parks, then like a lot of the natural wilderness and habitats would not be a thing, because people find a way to live in every condition outside of Antarctica so far, which is just crazy. But yeah, nature is realer than what people think, and I think a lot of people need to witness nature. I think that's what it is. People need to witness nature and to really get them to humble themselves with nature. And I'm excited to embark on this journey to start seeing all these different types of animals, because it started with dogs. It started with dogs, and then it started with the book that I wanted to go to New Zealand, because there was a lot of animals and insects in New Zealand that were just crazy. And now, like, opening up now, I really want to go. The place that I really want to go now is Alaska. I want to go to Alaska and India. I want to see a jaguar. I want to see a polar bear. And you know, I don't want to hear all this bullshit about they're going to attack you, they're going to do this. Man, listen, let me tell a lot of people something. Animals are just like freaking humans, dogs, and all of those alike. They have a prey drive. That's the difference. You run away, they're going to chase you. 9 times out of 10, an animal does not want to mess with you, just like you don't want to mess with it. They don't know what we are capable of, and we don't know what they're capable of. We got more info on them than they have of us. Shit. But we got more info on them than they have us. So we should not be as scared, because we can tell their signs and when they're agitated and everything like that, and, you know, act according to it. But they can't that of us. They don't know what we're capable of. The only animals that ever attack humans are ones provoked, protecting their young, which is what any human would do, or the ones that are just who've been around humans so much to the point where they're not scared of humans anymore, and it makes them curious, and then that's the only thing. But majority of the time, animals do not attack humans. They are scared of us. As long as you follow a lot of the guidelines that they say, and don't over get in their space, and be respectable of the animal, then there's no reason you should be scared. I mean, well, yeah, be cautious, but don't be afraid. Yes, there are things that might happen. You might be a lucky one to get attacked and mauled by a fucking bear and sliced up by a tiger. You might be that lucky one, but the chances are very slim. It's more chances of you winning the lottery than to get eaten by a polar bear, okay? So just keep that in mind. And I want people to actually go around and start seeing the nature and what's being taken away from this world. And this lighting is pretty bad. Getting taken away from this world. Ooh, I'm looking good again. But taken away from this world and how it's affecting other things and yourself. Because it's not directly affecting us, but it's indirectly affecting us in our economic situation. And I hope that you guys will learn a lot from what I'm about to learn when I start actually going out. The very first place that I can go after the holiday season is this place, like Jekyll Island. It's an island with a lot of fucking birds, okay? It has a lot of birds and turtles, and that's gonna be like the first place that I go, because it's within the States. It's only like 4 or 5 hours away from me, and I can set that up and go without, you know. But I think the very first big trip is gonna be Yellowstone. And it's probably going to be during the summertime, even though I want to go when it's snowing, but it's probably going to be during the summertime. And that's going to be the first thing. But guys, remember, nature is unforgiving. Nature is the realest thing ever in this world. A lot of people should go out there, get humbled by nature, understand that we have evolved and we're still evolving. And we've evolved past the point of compassion. And that's something that we have over animals and have the luxury of having. Because animals don't have that luxury of being that. So guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys continue on this journey. I know it's been a lot of just filler videos of me talking, but guess what, man? I am a hot commodity. Me talking is very important. I have a lot of stuff to say, and I want you guys to say a lot of things, because guess what? We all have a voice, and all this voice we can use to spread positivity around this world, man. Yes, we can do that. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to peace out.